Hey, I'm Martin Gruff, Financial Edge Group. I'm both a chartered accountant and a financial planner, helping people look after their finances, particularly heading towards retirement. Today, I want to talk to you about an investment structure called an investment bond. Investment bonds have been around for many years. They've had various forms of types of investments that fit within them, and they've really changed a bit over the last few years and progressed with technology and that kind of stuff. Now, they can be pretty complicated, but they're actually, when you break it down, they're pretty simple. And basically, investment bond is just a structure where you hold investments. Like you're holding investments inside a super, you can hold investments in your own name, you can hold investments inside of an investment bond. I actually really like the way investment bonds work, and they can be used pretty creatively in terms of strategies and plans for clients. So there's a whole bunch of info we can find and send you about investment bonds, but just to summarize some key things, in that an investment bond you can control, you can set up your investments within there. But the way they work is that they're called an after-tax product. So all the tax of investment bond is taxed inside the bond. You don't have to declare any of that on your tax return. So investment bond is taxed typically at the company tax rate of 30%, but it can be reduced with some deductions and some franking credits, and different investment bonds have different tax rates, but some can be as low as 15%, 20%, 22%, that kind of thing. So that might be a favorable tax rate compared to what you're paying personally. Because if you're earning over $50,000 a year, you'll already be at basically a 35% tax rate. If you're a high income earner earning over 100 or 200,000, your tax rate could be as high as 47%. So do we really want to hold those investments in your name, or might it be better to hold those in an investment bond? It depends. That's where personal financial advice comes into play, and happy to talk that through with you. But investment bonds can definitely be effective for tax in that space. They're also creative for moving assets out of personal names and holding them in a different structure, because it is a different legal entity, different legal structure, that you can kind of control those money in there. You can access and withdraw the money in there. It's not locked away like superannuation or something like that. You can access the money in there, but it doesn't have to go into your personal tax return and that kind of stuff. Importantly, it can be really relevant in terms of estate planning, that you can put money into investment bond so that something happens to you, it with certainty gets passed on to someone. It actually falls outside the will. So you can put a nomination on there, particularly if you've got a complicated family structure, you want to leave money to a certain person, individual. It might be that that money's held in investment bond, it completely falls outside your will, and it goes straight to that person upon your death. It can actually be used pretty creatively for kids as well, and I've got a separate video I talk specifically about that. There's a lot more detail around investment bonds. There's different investments you can have in there. You can have aggressive international shares and Australian shares. You can have high growth. It can be a balanced. It can be defensive. It can all be in cash. So the actual investments under there can vary a lot. There's some that are really cheap. There's some that are really more expensive. There's more complicated things around how much you can put in, and if you hold it for more than 10 years and all that kind of stuff, which we can dive into that detail more relevant. I just wanted to give you a quick overview about how investment bonds work and how they could and should be used for certain people as part of their wealth creation strategies. If you've got a specific question, feel free to reach out or check out some of our other videos at financialedgegroup.com.au.